Versatile Mage. Chapter 220 Entering the Trap by Mistake. Along the Wangpu River bank, there was light coming from a high location in the distance. These lights were flickering in different colors as they reflected on the surface of the river. Following the movement of the stream, it looked like a floating, colored ribbon in the dark. A heavy odor similar to excrement drifted by, instantly ruining the beautiful scenery. This was followed by a number of black figures coming out of the river, one by one. The odor came precisely from these figures. The 5 figures in the front looked like they were chasing away animals as they let out a severe, excoriating noise. They began to swiftly move toward Zhu Jiang'an, because they had to gather there before their objective arrived. Hui Si, you stay on the outside. The second you see our objective, notify me immediately. The man wore a long gray cloak that covered his body and a mask covering his face. The 5 of them were all wearing long gray cloaks. All of their bodies emitted a strange odor, and from one glance, you could tell they weren't good people. Yes, sir. The person called Hui Si immediately stood guard outside. They entered a rather shabby factory. This factory seemed like it recycled lower quality meat, as it smelled like meat everywhere. There were a lot of other things mixed together with it, so it smelled more like dog food, which could still be sold for a good price somewhere. The factory had some machines in operation. However, there was not a single person inside, perhaps no one within 100 meters. Once we've gotten our objective, remember he needs to be alive. Do not fail, or else you know what will happen. Hui pointed at the dark beasts crawling around the floor, who only knew how to listen to orders. The other 3 people glanced at the dark beasts and couldn't help but shiver coldly. The scariest part about the Black Vatican was that once you'd made a mistake, the punishment you got was even worse than dying. Outside of the factory, a man with a purple outfit slowly approached. His eyes were very solemn in the middle of the night. Lulu, you stay here. I'll go in and take a look, the guy said toward the girl next to him with a high ponytail. Don't go in, they look very dangerous. Shouting, why are you following these people? Just what are those half-human, half-monster things? The girl with the high ponytail, Lulu, said. When he unintentionally caught a whiff of an unusual odor from a student, Zhu Xiaoting seemed like he had turned into a different person. Zhang Lulu did not understand what had happened. She could only follow Zhu Xiaoting. Don't ask, you stay here. If I don't come back within 10 minutes, you must leave immediately. Remember, don't stay here, Zhu Xiaoting said in a very serious tone. Originally, Zhu Xiaoting and Zhang Lulu were looking for the clues of the shadow beast together. However, when they were looking for clues around a playground, Zhu Xiaoting caught a whiff of a very unusual odor. This odor was something Zhu Xiaoting would never forget. That's because it was emitted from a creature with a pitch-black body that had appeared during the calamity of Bo City. Zhu Xiaoting really hoped that his own sense of smell had a problem. However, when he was stealthily following that student, he had discovered that the student was a dark beast. Black Vatican. It was the people from the Black Vatican. They seemed to be scheming something again. Zhu Xiaoting hated the people from the Black Vatican to the bone. They were the people that caused his family's death. Near Zhu Xiaoting's home was a lair tunnel. When he went to the different districts to find his family with a depressed spirit, he only found a white paper with names. His father, mother, little brother, and grandma's names were all on the white paper. He had survived, but suddenly, he was by himself. Zhu Xiaoting did his best to forget about it. He wanted to live again in a new environment. He met an alright girl, and being with her made him very happy. This made him forget about the pain. However, today, he smelled this odor. This kind of odor was emitted from a student in the Pearl Institute. When he had pursued that student to this place, he had actually discovered this student was a member of the Black Vatican. This factory seemed to be their nest. He had to go in there to confirm it. If that really was the case, he would immediately notify the magic courts to have them come here. These godforsaken Black Vatican. He had to completely eliminate all of them from this world. Zhu Zhaoting had already slowly infiltrated the factory. The factory was immensely large, with many places for him to hide. Zhu Zhaoting was confident in being able to protect himself. Zhang Lulu was waiting outside. She did not have any movement spells, so the only thing she could do was wait outside and guard. She was very worried. She didn't know who these people were. However, she could feel that they were extremely savage. If Zhu Zhaoting was discovered, then his life might not be guaranteed. Zhu Zhaoting had awakened his second element. His second element was the wind element. This was a relatively good thing for him. He needed a spell that allowed him to move quickly. Otherwise, he'd have a strong destructive lightning, but no abilities to protect himself. Zhu Zhaoting had infiltrated through a broken window. He was standing on one of those crossed steel bars as he overlooked the large and spacious factory. They were indeed here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strange. Why are they missing one? Zhu Zhaoting was watching from up top and had only discovered 4 grey-cloaked people hiding here. They looked like they were awaiting someone to ambush. Are you looking for me? A dark and cold voice spoke up from behind him. Zhu Zhaoting's face was shocked as he looked behind him. He realized one of them was standing not too far behind him. Zhu Zhaoting was stunned. How did they find him? Could it be that they actually set up a trap inside this factory? Impossible. When he was following them before, there was no way they could have discovered him. Lightning strike, wrath strike. Zhu Zhaoting's reaction was fairly quick. He quickly condensed lightning within his hands. The imprints of lightning immediately appeared in his surroundings as Zhu Zhaoting quickly interlinked his stars. They turned into a couple of purple serpents as they flew toward the person behind him. The lightning would conduct through the steel bars. These conducted lightnings were able to win him an opportunity at a key moment. It's the lightning element. The objective has appeared. Catch him. Hui Yi, who looked like the leader, immediately raced over. The other 3 had already prepared a trap. Following the order, black figures emerged from all of the exits and windows. A strong smell of excrement began to rise all around. Zhu Zhaoting looked around his surroundings in shock and realized that he had been completely surrounded. In the front were around 10 of them. On the beam of the steel bar were 7. From the exits and windows, there were around another 8. There was a total of 25 dark beasts. Zhu Zhaoting could never have imagined that they had actually set up a trap here to surround him. Just how were they able to discover he was following them? I'm gonna kill you, Zhu Zhaoting yelled out, his face filled with extreme rage. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.